All right, Shannon Bream has left the court. She's in our bureau now. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling 5-4 moments ago that the town of Greece, New York, did not violate the U.S. Constitution when it allowed prayers before a monthly meeting. Shannon's live with us now. Shannon, what is the decision? Good morning.
Well, Bill, you summed it up there. This all started back in 1999 when the town of Greece, which has these monthly town board meetings, started having people come in to give prayers at the beginning of the meeting along with the Pledge of Allegiance. You didn't have to participate if you didn't want, but if you were there and the prayer happened, it happened whether you as a participant or somebody attending the meeting was involved or not. And essentially they went through a local guide of clergy members that was put out by the Chamber of Commerce. They would go through and call until somebody said, sure, I'll come do the prayer. They didn't choose who it was based on what denomination or religion they were involved with, but they were predominantly Christian because that town happens to be predominantly Christian, and the clergy guide they used mostly had churches that were made up of those of the Protestant Christian faith. But they had said all along anybody is welcome to come offer a prayer. They had someone from Baha'i, the Jewish faith, also a Wiccan priestess had come, but there were a couple of atheists who sued saying, I don't like going to these meetings and there's a prayer before the public meeting starts and I feel like I'm required to be there and listen to it. So they sued. This has been back and forth through the courts. The Supreme Court finally heard it last fall, and we got the decision today, and essentially writing for the majority, and there were all kinds of splits and nuances to this. But the bottom line is those prayers and that policy of having them at the town meeting, not unconstitutional. There were those who had argued that, hey, listen, if you want to have a moment of silence or a prayer of some kind, it can't say the name Jesus or Christ. It can't invoke any specific deity. But Justice Kennedy, in writing for the court, said something interesting. He said that to hold these invocations must be non-sectarian would then force the legislatures that sponsor the prayers and the courts that are asked to decide these cases to act as supervisors and censors of religious speech. He went on to say that a rule that would involve the government in religious matters to a far greater degree than the case is currently under this practice. There was a lot about that during the oral arguments. Should these have to be censored in advance? Can you decide what words you can say? Would the town supervisors have to decide? Justice Scalia and many others during the argument said they were very concerned about that. They thought it would involve the government a lot more to get in there and say, you can say these words, you can't say those words. Bottom line, Justice Kennedy says it's all constitutional. The prayers can continue.
Kennedy's the one who gave it the 5-4 ruling with the go-ahead.
As he often does.
Yeah, yes, as he does. In the dissenting voice, the dissenting opinion, what were they suggesting that prayer should not be there at all?
Well, I will be honest with you, I'm not still through this entire thing yet.
I get it.
But there were numerous dissents, multiple dissents, and essentially they feel like this is some intrusion involving the government in entangling it with religion, that if you have these prayers at all, it appears to be an endorsement of any particular religion that uses a specific deity in these invocations.
Okay, Shannon, thanks. Quick reading on there, too. Now, get back at it. Shannon Bream in Washington.